If you've ever been kneeling over a downed elk at last light with cold hands and a long pack out ahead of you, you know your knife isn't just gear, it's everything. For elk season 2026, a sharp, tough, full-tang blade that can skin, quarter, and cap without quitting is non-negotiable. I rank the 6 best elk hunting knives you can buy right now based entirely on real hunter reviews, with the most proven pick at number 1. Starting the list at number 6 is the GVDV 14-piece kit, and even at the bottom of this ranking, it's an incredibly loaded package for hunters who want one case that does everything. This set includes an axe, a caping knife, a butcher knife, a gut hook skinning knife, a carbide sharpener, a wood and bone saw, a fishing hook, a ribcage spreader, a cutting board, game cleaning gloves, nylon rope, cable ties, and a hard carry case. That fishing hook inclusion is a nice touch, since it means the kit doubles as gear for anglers, not just hunters. The blades are made from 5CR15 MOV stainless steel with a heat-treated taper ground edge, and the ergonomic handles have a grooved, non-slip surface designed for wet, bloody hands. One reviewer said their stepson absolutely loved the kit, noting the knife was razor sharp and every tool inside felt well made. Another buyer bought it as a birthday gift for a cousin who had struggled with cheaper knives during a previous deer season, and reported that both the sharpness and the sturdiness of the case impressed everyone who handled it. A third reviewer specifically called out fast shipping and said the sharpness was great, even for an experienced hunter. The honest side, one buyer noted the knives didn't sit snugly in their case slots and needed to be manually arranged before travel, so a little care is needed when packing it. With 733 reviews and a 4.8-star average, it's clearly a well-liked kit. But it sits at the bottom of this list because the next option brings tougher, more heat-treated steel and a couple of tools this kit doesn't offer at all. Climbing to number 5, the K9 Outdoors 12-piece set steps things up with genuinely upgraded blade construction. Where the previous kit used standard stainless steel, K9's blades are made from 7CR17 MOV steel that goes through 7 separate heat treatment cycles, which translates to noticeably better edge retention and hardness for the heavy work of quartering a big animal like elk. The set includes a boning knife, a gut hook skinner, a hawkbill blade knife, a caping knife, a gut hook butcher axe, a skinning cleaver, a bone saw, a ribcage spreader, a game shear, a portable cutting board, a combination sharpener, and cleaning gloves. And that game shear is a tool the previous kit simply didn't include, useful for snipping through tougher cartilage and smaller bone. Reviewers have leaned heavily into how complete this kit feels for real field work. One buyer described it as a really nice set for the price, highlighting that the knives felt solid and sharp right out of the case and that the non-slip grip made a real difference while working in the field. Another purchased it as a gift for a husband who keeps it in his truck specifically so he never forgets it before a hunt, and reported that everything clips neatly into its spot in the case. A hunter in Canada mentioned using the set on a moose just days after buying it, saying every knife handled the job without issue and that the included sharpener kept things going through the whole process. Some buyers did note mixed durability, with one longtime user saying a couple of tools like the skinning cleaver felt underwhelming and rarely got used compared to the gut hook and boning knives. With 1,388 reviews and a 4.7-star rating, K9 earns its spot over the GVDV 14-piece thanks to that upgraded steel and the extra game shear tool. But the next setup trims things down to fewer, sharper essentials, and buyers are raving about how much lighter and easier it is to actually carry into the field. Number 4 brings us to the smaller GVDV 6-piece set, and the appeal here is a leaner, more purpose-built kit rather than a kitchen sink approach. Instead of 14 tools, you get an 8.1-inch caping knife, an 8.7-inch hunting knife with a gut hook, a 9.6-inch boning and fillet knife, a ribcage spreader, cleaning gloves, and a hardside case, and the whole thing weighs less than 24 ounces, making it one of the lightest, most packable options on this list. That matters a lot for elk hunters who might be hiking miles into the backcountry and don't want extra weight in a pack. The blades use 5CR15 stainless steel, and the grooved polypropylene handles are designed to stay grippy even when wet, with a camouflage finish that makes the knives easier to spot if you set one down in tall grass. Reviewers have consistently praised the sharpness here. One buyer called the knives actually great quality, saying the handles felt nice and the blades looked beautiful for the price. Another reviewer specifically bought it as a gift and reported that the recipient loved how everything worked perfectly right out of the box and felt great in the hand. A third customer summed up their experience by simply calling it an excellent set, noting the razor-sharp blades held up well across various outdoor tasks and that the ergonomic handles offered precise control throughout. A few buyers did flag that the blades needed a touch-up sharpening before their first real use, since they arrived good but not razor-ready. With 1,865 reviews and a 4.8-star rating, this compact set edges out K&INE thanks to sheer portability and a slightly higher star average. But the next pick moves away from multi-tool kits entirely and brings something this list hasn't seen yet: a dedicated survival knife backed by a brand with a lifetime guarantee, and hunters are calling it their go-to knife for backcountry trips, specifically because of how many uses it covers beyond field dressing. At number 3, we shift gears completely with the Gerber Gear Ultimate Survival Knife, a single fixed blade knife rather than a multi-piece set, and it earns its spot by doing one thing exceptionally well while adding survival capability the previous kits don't touch. This knife features a half-serrated, drop-point stainless steel blade, a textured rubber grip, a hammer pommel for driving stakes, an emergency whistle, and a sheath with a built-in sharpening stone and a ferrocerium fire starter rod. For an elk hunter who might be miles from the truck when weather turns, having a fire-starting tool built into the sheath is a real advantage none of the multi-piece kits offer. Gerber also backs this knife with a limited lifetime warranty, which is a meaningful step up in brand confidence compared to the smaller kit brands above. Reviewers consistently mention how well-rounded the knife feels. One buyer called it a great all-in-one tool for everyday outdoor carry, noting the knife arrived sharp out of the package and that the sheath felt surprisingly well-built and sturdy. Another reviewer said the fire starter gives a genuinely strong spark and that the whistle is loud enough to be useful in an emergency. A longtime owner mentioned having used the Bear Grylls version of this same knife for over a decade in the backcountry, saying it's been through everything from food prep to firewood processing and still performs like new. The honest feedback centers on the small accessories. A few buyers mentioned losing the whistle after removing it from its lanyard, and one reviewer wished the sheath sharpener screws were positioned differently so they didn't interfere with sharpening strokes. With 3,128 reviews, over 1,000 bought in the past month, and a 4.7-star rating, the Gerber pulls ahead thanks to its versatility and brand trust. But the next pick jumps dramatically in review count and brings a full 8-piece dedicated field dressing system from one of the most recognized names in hunting gear. Number 2 is the Mossy Oak 8-piece field dressing kit, and this is where review volume takes a massive jump, over 6,000 ratings compared to just over 3,000 for the Gerber. That kind of gap reflects a much larger number of hunters who've actually put this exact kit to use season after season. The set includes a wood and bone saw with a blunt hook tip specifically designed to avoid puncturing the bladder or intestines during field dressing, a steel rib spreader, a 7.5-inch caping knife, a 9.5-inch gut hook skinner, a 10-inch boning knife, a tungsten carbide V-sharpener, and red game cleaning gloves, all stainless steel with full-tang construction for long-term durability. The hunting-specific feedback here is some of the strongest on this list so far. One buyer said the skinning knife got used more than any other tool in the kit and performed excellently on deer season after season. Another described using the entire kit from field to freezer on their first year hunting deer, saying every tool worked flawlessly, and that the sharpener alone made it worth the purchase. A third reviewer with decades of experience in commercial kitchens said they wanted a dedicated set just for hunting to avoid cross-contaminating their expensive kitchen knives, and reported the kit handled an entire deer without a single complaint about sharpness or durability. There is some split feedback on the plastic storage case, with one buyer noting it lacked drain holes and needed to be modified so it wouldn't trap water after washing. Still, with over 6,000 reviews, 200 plus bought in the past month, and a trusted brand name behind it, the Mossy Oak 8-piece kit earns the number 2 spot through sheer proven use in the field, but our number 1 pick has even more reviews. A simpler 2-blade design that's easier to keep razor sharp and a price point so low that hunters keep buying backups just to have on hand. Number 1 is the Mossy Oak fixed blade hunting knife set, a simple 2-piece combo of a straight-edge skinning knife and a gut hook knife, and it tops this list with the highest review count of any product here. What makes this one stand out isn't extra tools or accessories. It's that hunters overwhelmingly say these 2 blades alone get the job done, season after season, without needing anything else in the case. The full-tang camo-handled knives use black razor-sharp stainless steel blades, and the heavy-duty nylon sheath includes a button snap and belt loop for secure carry in the field. The hunting feedback here is detailed and specific. One reviewer said the straight blade is extremely sharp and works great for taking the hide off a deer, adding that after first buying the set years earlier, they'd repurchase it without hesitation. Another hunter described using the set to build an improvised spear in camp using the lanyard holes, and praised the gut hook specifically for handling both gutting and rope cutting duties in a single tool. A reviewer from Canada who was initially skeptical about the price point said both blades shaved hair straight out of the box and that the full-tang construction gave each knife a surprisingly balanced, premium feel despite the affordable cost. The most common piece of honest feedback is that, like most knives in this price range, a fresh edge from your own sharpener improves performance. Further, several buyers noted the factory edge is good, but not razor-ready for serious work. Even so, with over 6,200 reviews, 600 plus bought in the past month, and a 4.7-star average, the sheer scale of hunters who keep coming back to this simple two-piece combo makes it the most proven, most trusted elk hunting knife on this entire list.